So we will be able to access it later.
Yes, you
Yes,
will.
Okay.
you can go on YouTube.
Mhm.
So if you did, now, will that thing, the meeting is being recorded, will it just go off? Oh, I just hit got it, huh?
Yeah,
it.
it's like a consent thing.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hand it over to Jeannie so she can start.
Okay, thank you. And good evening, everybody. Sonu and Vera and Irene, you can take your mute off, Irene. See that little red thing? It means that you're muted and you can't talk. So yeah, here comes your son. He'll show you how to do it. Oh, and now you're frozen. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi, Irene.
Hi.
Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi. And Khan. Khan, should I call you Khan?
Yes, that's my first name.
Okay. Do you want to move a little bit more to your left? Because all I can see is your ear.
Okay.
And there you go. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Obviously, I love to see your faces, Cameron and Athena. If you would like to come on board, it makes communication. Yes, thank you, Athena.
Hello.
Hi. So, and Cameron, I saw you. You have the blonde. You're blonde, right? Yes. Hi, Cameron. All right. So, my name is Genie Nakano, and I think it was, when did we have our last class, Stephanie?
Gosh, was it May or June?
May or June, we had our first haiku here at JCI. I'm really excited about the haiku classes because we had a lot of fun, and I hope that it'll be that way this time. Something about myself. I'm a haiku writer. I like to also write tanka, and you'll learn about tanka and haiku. I've been teaching for a long time, but professionally and my livelihood, before I sort of semi-retired, I was a dancer. So I taught dance to children, adults, and I also danced. I like to perform. And I feel that the dance really did help my haiku because it gave me rhythm and a sense of space. A lot of art just blends into each other. Like if you're a painter, the paint will help bring color into your haiku. A musician, it brings that rhythm, that musicality to your haiku. Gardening, you know about flowers. So whatever you love, you can bring it into haiku. With that in mind, do we have hobbies? Anybody have a hobby that they like? And yes, Athena.
I actually like to draw, and I also have tried my hand at some poetry as well.
Oh, that's great, because haiku's poetry. And drawing, back when haiku was just beginning, which was about the 16th century, drawing and painting, calligraphy was actually an integral part of haiku. Whatever the haiku was writing, she would usually paint a calligraphy with it. And a lot of times a painter, a calligraphy person would get together and they'd do it together. While she was saying the haiku or he was saying the haiku, the calligrapher would be going with her words, and then maybe a musician would be over here. And it was really a very alive, collaborative event. So Athena, I would love to see you with your haiku, put a little drawing with it, or put the drawing first and draw the haiku, or together. but they so complement each other. I wish I knew calligraphy because it just goes with haiku. Haiku is very spontaneous. Okay, anybody else have a hobby?
I like to salsa dance. I got a mini floor, and I got a mirror that I put on the side of my wall, and I have music, and I practice salsa every day because I
that's
like it more than walking.
Oh,
So
sure, I do too.
I-
No,
I practice like 10 or 15 minutes each time during the day. I try to do 30 minutes, but sometimes I don't get 30 minutes. I'll maybe get 20 minutes, but I try to do 30 minutes every day, but in like 2 or 3 sessions.
that really helps with everything. And by the way, on Wednesdays at 12:10, we have a class. I teach a class called Belly Up. It's called Belly Up because it has everything in it, but the music is all salsa. So I think you would love it, all salsa. And the movements that we do in the class to do the aerobics
Mm-hmm.
are salsa, cha-cha, merengue, salsa, cha-cha, merengue, and a little bit of belly, because the belly, you move those hips, and salsa, you really move those hips. So it's a really fun class. I taught my first one today at JCI. We had 4 students and we had a blast. So Sono, you really should come. You will love it, and we'll love you too, because we love the rhythm of salsa. You know, salsa is so wonderful because it has Afro-Cuban rhythms. It has the timbales, the cungaras, the merengues, everything. The rhythms are so beautiful. So Wednesday at 12:15 downstairs.
12:15?
12:15. Well, you can come in.
12:50, 10 to 1?
No, 12:15 or 12:10. People get there about
Oh,
12:10, 10 after 12.
okay, thanks.
Yeah, and it goes to bring water, bring lots of water, and bring a mat, because part of it's core, part of it we go, for the stomach, because you got to get the stomach really strong for salsa, because that's what moves your hips. That's what moves you. So come, it's fun. It was dynamite. All right. So anybody else have more hobbies? Maybe we can help you come into more hobbies. How about you, Cameron? You look like an artist. Cameron?
I don't really have any art hobbies.
You don't have any art hobbies? Because you have that look of an artist. Yeah. Well, do you like sports or anything like that?
I do swim team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love swim. What school do you go to?
Da Vinci.
Oh, I know where that school is. I used to live in Hawthorne. So that's the one in Hawthorne, right? Da Vinci?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go there and walk my dogs, and it looked like such a cool school. In fact, I have one of my friends, he is in that school. And it sounds amazing. They have a great science department, right? And do they have a good art department?
Yeah.
I'll find out his name. I don't know his name. I talked to him for about 15 minutes and I forgot his name, because in my neighborhood, everybody is real friendly and we talk to each other because we're walking our dogs, but we remember the dogs' names, but we never remember the owner. That's a problem. But he was so happy with this school. He got in on a waiting list, huh? Right? You had to get on a waiting list, Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lottery, right? Kind of like a lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to get in there, but I wish I went to, I'm from the barrios, and our teachers, they could care less if you were sleeping or not. It was, but you had to be self-motivating, because my teachers would come in and open a book, put his leg on the table, and that was the end of class.
Oh, gee.
And when I said, I want to learn something, he sent me to the back of the room. Oh, well, I wish I could have gone to Da Vinci, Cameron, really. You don't know how lucky you are, or maybe you do. Okay, so anyone else with what I'd like to know? This is a question I have for you. Why did you take haiku? Anyone want to answer that question? What interested you? What pulled you in?
I think maybe I think it's about nature and beauty and like good things.
It is, it really is. If you ever go to these poetry rap sessions, a lot of the poetry is so sad, you'll be crying on the way out, and then
Oh,
but haiku, it does focus on nature, very much so that your eyes become open to your nature around you. And I do love haiku for that reason, because it brings you to the here and now. However, nowadays they have new genders of haiku. They have, listen to this, horror haiku. That's HORROR. Science fiction haiku. I think I brought the schedule of it. Yeah, here it is. Your realistic haiku, historical haiku, found haiku. We'll talk about that later. And femku haiku. So that would include feminism. I think they spoke of LGBT. That's in there too. So now haiku is shifting to including all kinds of things. You can write about everything. You just have to follow the rules that we're going to talk about tonight. Not the rules, let's call it the guidelines. But that's what makes it beautiful, is that haiku has all these guidelines. And if you explore them and try to work with them, you feel like you're restricted at the beginning, but it opens you up to being this fantastic writer. Really. Okay. Okay, so Sono, that's why Sono started it, because it's beautiful. And one of my haiku teachers, who I want you to read, I have him on the reading list, David Lanoue, Lanoue. He teaches at the University of Louisiana in New Orleans. Speaks of haiku as love. Haiku is love, all about love. Okay, anybody else why they took haiku? Yeah, thank you.
I took it as a form of meditation, and just to be aware of the here and now. We're so busy in our lives, and so many things going around us happening, and we don't focus on any one thing. It's kind of a big mishmash. So I thought haiku would kind of develop a habit in me that I could focus on something and really look very carefully and see if I could capture an essence of something. I think it was in the shiatsu class that I took where the suggestion was made, how you can continue various strategies of how to be more focused in your life. And I think life becomes more meaningful in that way.
That is really beautiful, Vera. I wish you could write that down for me and I'll use it in my blog.
Oh,
Because no, I'm serious though. It does capture what you want to capture in haiku. And that is the present. That's the essence of it. And it does make you focus because you've only got 3 lines, right? So that in itself is a focus. You can't just meander on and on. Like I went to a poetry session last night, and some of the poems I could have made dinner and come back and gone to the bathroom and everything like that. In fact I did, and the poem was still going on, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And I thought, geez, I wish they'd come to a haiku class and get the essence of what they're saying instead of repeating a phrase over and over and over again. Haiku will teach you how to get the essence out of something. You know, you have to do that in haiku. Yeah. And it does bring more meaning into your life if you can get the essence of your presence, you know, right there, right now, right here. Okay, so anyone else? Richard? Oh, Athena. Yes.
I decided to take this class since right now there's just a lot of stuff going on in my life currently, and I feel like it's at least important to at least like kind of again take a step back and just notice the little things, or like stop and smell the flowers in a way. So,
You're certainly right. I love that. I don't really have to be here. I think you're all your own teachers. Um, Khan, did you
Yes, I just want to say that I'm very new to writing. And so when Janet talked to me about the course,
right? Yes.
haiku was like part of poetry. The reason why I'm interested in haiku is because of the fact that it can express so much in so little words. And I think that there is also a possibility of reading between the lines.
Oh, yes.
And so I would like to see how you approach that.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we should approach it now. And one more thing. I just want to know, does anyone have a favorite writer, favorite poet that they follow and really love? Or you don't even have to love it. You can just, do you have a certain author that you buy his book or her book more than once? Anyone? What, Athena?
I'm just not sure of an author.
Well, for instance, myself, when I was in high school or junior high school, I loved Ray Bradbury. Have you heard of him, anyone? Yeah, he's science fiction. Not really, but they call him science fiction. And he would come to our, of course, I was much older then, to the Southwest Manuscriptors every year, faithfully before he died, and talk to us about his writing experience. And if you can't get a chance, check him out. I love the way his mind goes. October Wind was great. Sometimes his stories are scary, and I like scary stories too. So like babies that come out of the crib and kill you at night, stuff like that. But he did other things too, but I'm just warning you. He did other nice things too. He was a very good guy. And my favorite poet, right, for haiku has been Basho. I mean, not Basho, excuse me, Isa. And my favorite poet right now that I'm reading right now, because I've had many, but I love Maya Angelou. Yeah, she is good for haiku because she has so much rhythm in her poetry. It's good to read all kinds of poetry. She has the rhythm, and you will see if you read her. And if you dance like Sono, you will have that rhythm in your haiku too. Okay, so let's get on with the essence of haiku. And I will talk about tonight. Yeah, it'll be night. I think it's night, it's evening. We'll talk about what haiku is, the history of it a little, and let's write some too, okay? So have a notebook. Everybody has a notebook next to you and a pencil, and you could doodle too, Athena. That's always nice to doodle.
That's always nice.
Pardon me?
I think there's some feedback happening.
Oh, okay. So I think, let's see. If too much feedback goes on, then you all have to mute yourself. But when you want to talk, okay, there's a trick about muting yourself. You can mute yourself, and whenever you want to talk, you just press that little space bar in there in the middle, and that'll unmute you. Okay? Does everyone understand what I'm saying? And you all know about it. Oh, Con, you maybe don't, you said you don't do much computers, but if you mute yourself, all you do is press that space bar and you're unmuted at that point. Okay, so, you know, we really don't have to talk about the essence of haiku because you have all said it. That's really the essence of haiku, what Sona said, and Con, and Vera. That's better than this little paragraph I have here, but I'll read it to you anyway because it's very short, by Patricia Donegan. And it says, the essence of haiku is, it is a way of being in the world with awakened, open-hearted awareness, of being mindful of the ordinary moments of our life that I've come to call haiku, mind. Patricia's called Haiku Mind, okay? Allen Ginsberg, does everyone know who Allen Ginsberg is? Thank you, Vera. He was one of the Beat generation, like Jack Kerouac and the Beat people. Very interesting group of like-minded poets and very revolutionary at their time, probably even today. So Allen Ginsberg was very bold, and he says that haiku is 3 lines that makes the mind leap. A good one, he says, lets the mind experience a small sensation of space, which is nothing less than God. As many spiritual practices seek to do, the haikus spare yet acute noticing of the immediate and often ordinary ground the reader in their pure awareness of now. And that's what you all said. So I'll just read you a few right now, examples of the classics of haiku, and you'll all get a copy of everything that's here sent to you. Because Basho is the one that I could say, he said, this is the most famous haiku in the world. I mean, it's said over and over again, and I never really got it till now. But Basho says in 1644, an old pond, a frog jumps in, the sound of water. That's 3 lines. An old pond, a frog jumps in. The sound of water. And here's one by Jack Kerouac, The Beat. In my medicine cabinet, the winter fly has died of old age. In my medicine cabinet, the first one, the winter fly has died of old age. So those are just some examples of haiku. Any comments? It's kind of different, huh?
I see Athena has a question or comment.
Yes.
I think the first one by Basho is interesting because it kind of ties in with what one of the beats said about haiku, where haiku is like the mind taking a leap, and it's like kind of being compared to like as in a frog leaping into a pond.
Right. And then that he would talk about the sound of water, you know, rather than the frog. It's like bringing all kinds of elements in, the frog, the sound of water. Thank you. Okay, and this one, I told you one of my favorite haiku poets was Isa. And I loved him because he loved animals. And I encourage all of you to read about these poets' lives because they're very interesting. I think poets and artists often live kind of on the edge, and they're looking in at our world, at your world, at my world. And he was one of them. He definitely was. He lived in poverty, but he was happy. And when he was 3 years old, his mother died and his stepmother took over, and she was so cruel to him. He had to figure out a way to bring happiness into his world. So he fell in. That's my dog. I love animals. Okay. Bodhi. Okay. No. Here. Okay, so this is Bodhi, and you know, I said I like Isa because he liked animals. So I do love animals. I like to pick up stray dogs and feed homeless cats. But anyway, so Isa did that. In order for him to feel a part of this world, is he talked to animals a lot. So this is one of his poems. Don't hit the fly. He prays with his hands and his feet. Don't hit the fly. He prays with his hands and his feet. And one of my teachers said, if you teach people to look at insects in a different way, that's a way of looking and accepting something that's different from you. You know, you look at an insect and you think, oh God, instead of squashing it, you're going to really look at it and see its world, see its life. Right, Bodhi? Okay, so he really likes to be cuddled. So I will hold him so he won't bark, but he likes to just sit here and look out the window. Okay, so that's an example of some classic artists. And so I'm saying that Basho is the one that is credited for starting haiku. And Isa is really the most popular one in Japan for everyone because he's so humane. Let's play a little game that helps us with sequence. Let me find it, okay? Get down. Thank you. Because we found out. What's the thing? In haiku, because it has only 3 words, three lines, we have to learn how to sequence it. Oh, I'm trying to find what I used last time. Okay, just pick 3 words. And one will be an adjective. Okay, we all know what an adjective is, right? Yeah. If you don't be embarrassed. We'll go over it. A noun and a verb. You got that? 3 things: adjective, noun, and a verb. Now, what you're going to do is just pick out, write an adjective next to the adjective. And don't think too much. Okay? Got it? Yes? Okay, now just pick a noun. Okay. So then, does everybody have them? Everybody has it? Okay, Cameron, could you read what you have?
I have um, slowly dog moves.
Slowly,
Dog moves.
dog moves. Okay. So, all right. And Sona. Oh, just, you're muted. Just press the space bar.
Okay. I have happy, music, dance, and then I pick another noun.
No,
Or-
just use one.
Okay. Happy, music, and dance.
Okay. So, okay, those are just 3. And I'll tell you what mine was. Pretty girl, run. All right. Now, just change it around. Put the verb first, the adjective second, and the noun third. Okay, now, Sona, read yours that way. Okay, first you read it, happy music dance, right?
Right.
Now read it with the verb first
Okay.
and the adjective second and the noun last.
Dance, happy music.
So you see how it changed it completely? And Cameron, read yours with the different sequence.
Move slowly, dog.
So it's kind of like a command. Move slowly, dog. Okay, where it was, what was the first one before?
Slowly, dog, move.
Changed it completely. It's like, here's this little slow dog moves. Okay. So the last one, change it to noun first, verb second, and adjective last. Okay, Athena, could you read yours?
For the last combination, I got blossom blooming bubbly.
What?
Blossom blooming bubbly.
No, gee, that's beautiful. Okay. Cameron, could you read yours last?
Dog, move slowly.
Sort of similar, but yet not quite. Okay, so the point that I'm making is just by changing your sequence, you're going to change the whole feeling of your haiku. So you want to keep that in mind when you're writing. Just keep that in mind, that if you see your haiku and you don't like it, change it around and see what you come up with. Something entirely different, something more dramatic. Just play with it. With just 3 words, we have 3 lines, and we could even make a haiku out of 3 words and 3 lines. All right, so I'm going to talk about right now that it's really hot and I'm going to open a window. Is it hot over there for you guys? I'm going to open my window. We're just going to talk about the 8 characteristics, basically the 8 character, well, yeah, I'd like to talk about the 8 characteristics of haiku. We'll talk about the history next week when we get in about the kigo. And a kigo is basically, have you heard of the word kigo?
No?
So kigo is a season word. That's all it is. And a kigo is part of a classical haiku. You have to have a kigo in it. A season word would be plum blossom, snow. Snow, you know where you are. You're someplace cold. Plum blossom, you know that it is spring. So that automatically brings you together in your communication with someone else. They already have a feeling just by one season word. That would be your Kegel. Okay. So the 8 characteristics. Can we put them up? Stephanie, can we put the 8 characteristics on the screen?
Oh, wrong one.
That's your history.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put it down a little bit.
Here, right?
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
Ooh, someone's cooking something really good out there. It's coming in through my window. So the first one, of course, is form, what we talked about, that it's usually in 3 lines. Most people think it is 5-7-5. Today, most haiku organizations in the United States, like the Haiku Society of America, whatnot, they don't go exactly to, it's got to be a 5-7-5, because our language, English, is much different than Japanese. And in Japan, they don't adhere to the 5-7-5 as much. And as you could see, old pond, frog jumps in, sound of water is not 5 sounds, 7 sounds, and 5. Even right there. So that's not the essence of it, but that it is 3 lines, and you want to make it no longer than 21 sounds. You understand what I mean by sounds? It would be the syllables. So like in old pond is 2 sounds. No. Frog jumps in is 3 sounds. Sound of the water is 5 sounds. Okay, so you try to make it less than 21 sounds. Usually the way I make my haiku is the first line is shorter than the middle line. The middle line is usually the longest, but that's okay. You could do it. You can have your own form. But the main thing about the form is haiku. A description of haiku is, it's a poem that you can say in one breath. So you take a breath, and an old pond frog jumps in, sound of water. So that's one breath. That's a good way to see if your poem is fitting that form. Okay, taking in one breath. Inhale. And now the cat comes. In the moonlight, his shadow darker than himself. That's one breath. Okay. So that would be your form. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. And then 2, descriptive images. So what would be a descriptive image? That is, when you do haiku, this is what you really get good at, is coming up with images. And because an image is like a dream. When you dream, you can go to space and back, right? How many of you dream? Do you all dream? Yeah. I love dreams. So in dreams, you can dream that you went to outer space, back, wake up, and you've gone so many places by images. you've gone through a whole lifetime through the images. So that's what you want to do with your haiku, is use that image. So you'll want to use words that can give you an image, a descriptive image right away. Haiku gives a picture or makes a sketch of a scene, like a snapshot from a camera. Okay, the image is simply a word or a group of words that present something relating to the senses, something that can be seen, heard, touched, smelled, tasted, especially images from nature, because you can see them right away. You can smell them. You can feel them, right? You can taste them. But you don't always have to use images from nature, because there are a lot of images that aren't from nature that you can smell, taste, and feel and hear, like crunching popcorn. Okay, I wrote a haiku about popcorn. I'll bring it to you next week because I can't remember it. I think it was salty air pops into my mouth, something like that. So usually a haiku uses two images. The frog haiku is good because it has sharp nature images. We can see the scene clearly, the pond, the frog, and the splash of water. It's easier to create a strong image when you are descriptive, okay? For example, when you talk about a flower, you might want to say what the flower is, a purple iris or something like that. That makes it stronger, right? So those are your images, to use descriptive images when you do your haiku. Now the season word, what we were talking about, the kigo. A season word, Basho says, follow nature and return to nature. Haiku is a way for us to reconnect with nature because it makes us aware of our relationship to nature and the environment. A season word is a word referring to the present day's weather, season, spring, summer, autumn, and there are actually whole books in Japan, they're dictionaries of just a season word. So you can open this dictionary up, and I have one actually. It's called Haiku World. You just open it up, and I want, what is peach as a season word? Well, it's autumn, it's plant. It's the most popular fruit peaking in early autumn. It brings the famous legend of Momotaro. We know Momotaro? Okay, so once you use that, all kinds of things come to your mind. Momotaro, that it's autumn, that it's juicy, that it's peach colored, that it's the color of a young woman's skin. These all come from one kigo. Oh, it could be the color of a young man's skin too, but usually peach, her skin was peachy cream. Okay, so that's your kigo, which we'll go into a little bit more. That's number 3. And that is of the here and now, which we talked about. Haiku is a way to slow down in our modern world. When we slow down, we're able to catch the moment. We can relax and appreciate things more. The best haiku are usually written from our real experience. What happened to you right now? Then you capture that moment because you have that feeling, and just make a sketch of it into 3 lines. Sometimes we write from the memory of our real experience, which is fine. And some people even write haiku from their imagination. But the best haiku come from a real experience. If you have an open mind, haiku eyes, you can slow down for a moment. You can catch the haiku all around you. The story behind the frog poem is a good example of a haiku coming from a poet's real experience. Actually, I heard that that it didn't just happen right then, but it was an experience that Basho did have. Okay. As you can see, a haiku is simply appreciating what is already around you. So see and discover what is. Number 5, feeling. Show, not tell. So what would we mean by show, not tell? For example, okay, we wouldn't necessarily write the lonely frog or the frog looks lonely, but rather describe the frog so that he seems lonely, okay? Like a tiny frog sits in the cold rain. That sounds pretty lonely, okay, rather than saying the lonely frog, so that you're showing but not telling. Do you see what I'm saying?
Use images. Use images instead of words.
Yeah,
to
I would say that.
describe.
Let me see, how could I say this? Okay, so loneliness. Yes, sitting on the beach, a hermit crab stuck in the bottle. Okay, we didn't say he was lonely, but we used the images of the hermit crab stuck in a bottle. Sadness, watching the sunset, sitting on a grassy cliff after father's death. So we didn't say the boy's really sad, but we talked about his father's death and that made him sad, okay? Is that getting a little clearer? And another is surprise. That's kind of hard sometimes, but haiku that really captures your attention has kind of a surprise, a new way of looking at something. Like a comedian, you know. Comedians have this ability to look at something different than you do, and sometimes looking at it that way makes you laugh because it's a surprise. You know, I wouldn't have thought of something like that. I love comedy, so that's why I brought it up. So surprise, to write a haiku, you've got to be awake, right? And when your mind is here and not asleep or crowded by thoughts, we can see more clearly. We're surprised by this discovery, although it was there all the time. This clear seeing itself becomes the surprise or a fresh moment. This turn makes us appreciate everyday life more. For example, the frog again, okay? The last line, the sound of water is a surprise. It's breaking the silence. And haiku is the experience of catching the moment of hearing the splash of water as the frog jumps into in before it's gone. Okay? The surprise takes our breath away. And in haiku, we call that an aha moment. Surprise. Okay, so can we just try? Oh, one more thing. Compassion. Compassion is basically having empathy for the world. Compassion is kind of like an action. But what's the matter, Bodhi? Okay, you go down then. Compassion, having feeling. Basho didn't like the little girl who came in and talked about in her poem how she pulled the wings off the butterfly. That was a surprise, but it had no compassion. So generally speaking, start off with, with having compassion in your haiku, okay? So I'd like to just try, let's see, I think, can I move this down, Stephanie, to see what else I said here?
More?
A little more. Oh, let's read this one. So an example, what Pat Donegan saw a little girl, she wrote this poem. I am so sad about seeing the dead cat. And she revised it to say, the dead cat's eyes still shining in the foggy headlights. You see, all these images create a mood, an ambience, right? Of a dead, well, it's really kind of sad that it was once alive. It just died because its eyes are still shining and all that fog. So the Kigo was foggy. It told you what the weather was like and about the time of it, because we know it's when the fog is usually, when is fog? It could be foggy anywhere, but that's a Kigo. Okay, so let's go down a little bit more. And that's it. Does anyone have any questions before we're going to take off and try our wings?
Yes, so now the haiku, there's no structure really. You can just say anything within the number of syllable, which is like not more than 21, like you said, right?
Right.
So we don't have to follow the rule that we have learned 575 anymore.
Exactly. You don't have to.
Mhm. So it doesn't matter whether the first line is longer than the second line, although you mentioned that you used to have the second line longer than the first line.
Yeah, I usually do.
Mhm.
Because for me, I like to start off with kind of the mood. And then the second line is the action.
Mhm.
And then the third line is the surprise, how I put these juxtapositions together.
Mhm.
The two images, how I created my insight of seeing the two images.
Mhm. You know, I remember the second example that you had given, the medicine cabinet, the winter fly die of old age. So
Mhm.
I found it quite sad, but then not very poetic. But then when you mentioned the words, the season word, the winter in there, make it poetic, I think.
Yes.
Am I correct at feeling it that way?
Right. You know, because the winter, you feel the coldness, right?
Mhm.
And winter usually implies a death of plants, of the sun kind of goes away. And but I always think snow, winter, cold.
Yeah, I realize the importance of this season word now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mhm.
And like I said, if you look online, you can even look up Kigo, and they'll have many Kigos for you to explore, to learn the meaning of them, and to use them in your next haiku.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do is just sit in your room, or you could walk around in your room, in your house, or even take a walk outside. It's getting kind of cold and dark all of a sudden, but so you could explore your room, your house, and just pick 2 things or 3 things. Just list 3 things that catch your eye and write them down in 3 lines. Okay, and we'll just take, and you don't have to just stick with that. You could have 6 objects that caught your eye, but put them in a series of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then go around to another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And you can take the object, describe it, or just list. You can just list too and figure out how to describe it later. But something that just, oh, it caught my eye. The lamp with the light shade looks like a man with a hat. Well, no, I just said that. You know, stuff like that. Don't end it. Just list what you see. I went too far and gave a description. Just list what you see in front of you as you walk in your room or around the house. And we'll take like 5 minutes. Think that's good time, Stephanie? 5 minutes?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, 5 minutes. I'll even time you. Okay. And take your notebook. You can even use a book. You can use a book to flip through and look at the pages. That's another way to do something. Take your notebook and write what you see.
Athena, where do you go to school?
Oh, I go to school at St. James Catholic School. So, yeah.
Oh, now where is that? I forgot.
It's in Torrance.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Is it off, is it near, is it on PCH?
I don't think it's on PCH. I believe it's on. I think it's Anza, but it's located in Torrance. I'm not sure if you know where Victor Park is or the Henderson Library. It's around there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's on Anza.
Yeah.
Are you saying? And oh, okay, I think I know. I think my daughter took her driver training class there,
Ah,
but that was like 20 years ago because she's 35 now.
ah.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 13 going on 14.
Oh, okay. So what grade does that make you? I forgot.
That makes me in 8th grade currently.
8th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
So next year you're going to be in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's called St. James
Yeah, St. James Catholic School.
Catholic School. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where my daughter took her driver training class. Ah.
Irene, are you there? I didn't see you the whole time. I could just see one eye now. And also, you have your list, right? Of what you saw.
Yes.
Now, take your favorite topic and write a description about it next to it, under it. Okay? So take just a moment for that. I'm going to be right back. So take your moment, take your topic, something that you saw, and write a description under it. Okay. So does everybody have a topic that they had? And did you write a description next to it? Under it, excuse me. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, this will be something, an experiment. This is a Kegel dictionary. It's called the Haiku World, and it's pretty big. And you can choose, we'll pick a summer Kegel. Under your topic, here's your topic, the description, and we're going to place a summer Kegel under it, okay? Now, in this summer Kegel, there are many categories we can use, which would be plants, animals, the heavens, humanity, seasons. So let's try, okay, I'm going to give you choices and you could vote on it, all right? So here's a choice of the heavens. Thunderstorm, just write them down. Thunderstorm. Okay, now here's a Kegel from a summer humanity. Summer lethargy. Write that one down. And here's a plant. Morning glory. I'm going to try to find an animal. Animal. These are fun because it changes everything. I think that's enough. What do we have? Could you tell me what we have so far, Athena?
We have thunderstorm, summer lethargy, and morning glory.
Okay. Does anyone need another one like an animal? Would you like an animal in there?
Yes.
Sona would like an animal. Okay, let me find one. Plants. Goldfish is a summer Kegel animal. And Crab. I like animals, so I gave two kegos for animals.
What was the first animal again?
Goldfish.
Are we supposed to use these kegels in with the thing that we have identified?
Well, we're gonna try.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna pick which one you want. Because we have goldfish, crab, and then we have thunderstorm and what summer lethargy and that's enough. Okay, so those are some of the Kego that you can use. It's fun to get a book like this or look online and find a Kego to help you with your haiku. Now, just take your topic and you can have, you guys are pretty fast. You can have 2 topics and 2 descriptions, and then take one of those Kego and put it next to it to end it with the Kego, or put the Kego on the top. You can put the Kego anywhere you want. All right, just try. We worked with the sequences, so try working with those sequences and let's come up with something. And when you go home, go look up Kegos and work and find some Kego that you like and that you'd like to work with. That it just makes it fun. Like I said, in Japan, they have Kego dictionaries for days, you know, thousands of Kegos that they work with. And with this Kego, you can use more than just the Kego, like the crab that huddled in the bottle or whatever. Or you can use just the Kego. Crab, that's it. It depends on your haiku. Am I making sense, Stephanie?
Making
Okay.
sense.
So the first one, the thunder, represents the heavens. The second one, summer lethargy, is about humanity. That's a humanity Kego. And then morning glory, of course, is plants. And the last one, crab or goldfish, obviously it's animal. And when you're ready, just put that little hand there and you could read your haiku to us. You know how to make
Jeannie,
Huh? Yes, somebody? Irene?
I think
I think I'm ready. I want to know if this
Oh, great.
works.
Okay, sure.
Photo of 7 family. 2 are gone. Summer lethargy.
Nice.
Does it work?
Yes, of course. 2 gone, the lethargy of summer is because of the, well, obvious, the
A
sadness,
loss.
the loss, the sadness.
Yeah.
You see how you just need to have a key go kick your imagination. Say that again. I'm going to write it down.
Photo of 7 family. 2 are gone.
Summer.
And what I had, Jeannie, originally, the line I had in there that I had put in at the end was 2 are gone, heart is heavy. And
You
then
know,
I
think
supplanted it with,
lethargy is more surprising, because that it describes a really total physical thing of just, you know, your body's heavy, you don't want to do anything but sleep, maybe. I think it's even more effective because heart is heavy is somewhat of a cliche, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
it is. It is.
different times.
Yeah.
Of course, I use it myself, but anyway.
But I could see in looking at the 2 of them, I could see where the lethargy says more. And like you said, the heart is heavy is trite.
Well,
It's been said
means so
1,000
much.
times.
Yeah, yeah. Something very physical about the lethargy and the summer heat and the juxtaposition of summer and lethargy, because summer could be fun and going to the beach, but the summer lethargy. I like that.
You're right.
Use that. Yeah. Athena, you have your hand up.
Do you mind if I share my haiku?
Oh, of course. I'd love you all to. Thank you so much.
All right. Pages beige and clustered, words swimming sweetly, goldfish in a pond.
Oh, okay. Let me get that. Okay. Say it again.
Pages beige and clustered, words swimming sweetly,
Words swimming sweetly.
and goldfish in a pond.
Goldfish in a pond. Page, is that page is beige, right?
Yeah, pages beige.
And clustered.
Mhm.
Words swimming softly.
I said sweetly.
Oh, sweetly. Page is beige. Words swimming sweetly. you have a lot of beautiful things going on, but it does feel a little clustered, like you'd want to pick maybe just a few image adjectives. Page is beige gives me a complete enough, you know, that it's beige. Words swimming sweetly, and sweetly so I would almost pick softly more than sweetly, because it's more of a verb rather than sweetly. What do you guys think?
What is the noun that it's describing? What is softly? The page is softly?
The page is beige. The words swim sweetly, right? Athena? The words sweetly.
The word sweetly would be describing like the words on the page.
Okay, words on the page. Words swim sweetly. Goldfish. Goldfish in a pond, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, forget this softly. Words swim sweetly, goldfish in a pond. But the first one is a little bit too much. I would just kind of simplify it a little bit. The page is beige. That gives me a color. And that beige is very kind of, well, what does beige mean to you, Athena?
It kind of describes like a little bit of sand perhaps surrounding the pond.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
I like that word play though. That's playing with the two words.
Page is beige.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, anyone?
Jean-
Oh, I guess we're going overtime, but that's okay. Anyone else?
Okay. I put next to the soft pink antique lamp, still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming.
Okay, so now you can see how we need to make it more compact, okay? Next to the soft and
No, next to the soft pink
pink
antique lamp.
antique lamp, okay? Go ahead, Sono.
Still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming.
Night is coming.
I was thinking that, the fish are sleeping, so night is coming.
Well, fish are sleeping.
Well, because the goldfish, they're just, how it's just not even moving. So still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming.
Well, I like the just simple word of fish are sleeping, because that says it all. And I never think of a fish sleeps. It's like, do they snore? So I kind of like that. Fish are sleeping.
Oh,
And-
I didn't write that, but I just put still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming. You
Oh.
want me to say sleeping goldfish, or the goldfish are sleeping?
Wait, I have to write it down again. I don't quite have it. Okay, you said, let's do it again. Still. Wait a minute, go ahead.
Do you want me to do the second line?
Let's do it from the top. I didn't have it right.
Oh, okay. Next to the soft pink antique lamp, still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming.
Wait,
Do you mean without movement still?
Yeah, still,
Oh, okay.
STILL,
Right.
still goldfish in a
Oh,
bowl.
the goldfish is really sleeping.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Still goldfish in a bowl. Night is coming. You know,
Mhm.
that's why they're sleeping.
Uh-huh, right.
Sorry,
That's why they're
Jeannie.
still.
Right, right. I
would it
see
be-
the picture now.
Would it be okay if we revisit Sono's haiku at the next class?
yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, we will. You could
Okay.
put it in chat, so it's kind of long.
Too
So,
long.
yeah, just, we'll revisit it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us, and yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Jeannie. So
She'll send you-
yeah, we'll see
the-
everybody again next week, same time. So I'll send a link again.
Bring
Okay,
your
thank you
friends.
very much.
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.